Support Laneside. Get something cool. Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of The Drill Room. As always, I am the bearded beast, Rob Johnson. I want to thank everybody for joining us once again. I wanted to take a second just to address, we've been off for a couple of weeks, well, a few shows. Went through a bit of a family tragedy last week. Not really going to get into the details of it. I didn't think it was appropriate to come on and stream. I didn't think it was appropriate to really be doing much during that time. I'm sorry if it was inconvenient to anybody that I wasn't able to be here and streaming with you. I really do apologize for that. But I do appreciate everyone being nice and really respecting my family's privacy during that time. So once again, thank you for that. So why don't we move on? As I always say, this is the Drill Room. This is the show for you, the fans, where we talk about things going on in the news, things going on tour, in the shops, new equipment, coaching. This show is about what you fans want to hear about. And as the intro alluded to, you guys wanted to talk about urethane. Apparently something's going on with it. But we're going to get to that in a couple of minutes. First, I want to get through a few things from over the past week that we've missed. Wanted to congratulate Dom Barret of Team Brunswick, becoming the first European to complete the Triple Crown on the PBA Tour. Really excited for him. You know, really good for him for being able to complete that. He deserves it. He really does. He's just a nice guy. Excuse me, I'm loading up some stuff on the computer for us here. He's just a nice guy. Like, he's quiet, not super in your face like some people are. He just goes out there and does what he does. And when it comes to slow hooking the lane, there are very few that are as good as he is at that. So you know what? Congratulations to him. It's really exciting to see him pick up that win. It's been a few years since we've seen him win too. So, and of course, the ball he was throwing was one that hasn't even been released yet. He was throwing the new Columbia 300 Speed. It was literally just announced before the tournament, like maybe a few days. And, well, he went out and won the tournament throwing it. Guess that's a pretty good advertisement for the ball when you can go out. And when everyone was looking at the past, talking about purple hammers and urethane and so on and so forth, he went out with the new and just smashed face. So for those of you who are new here to the show, don't forget to follow us. Make sure that you like us here on Twitch. Fuzzbear, great show. That was a great show to watch. It was a great show to watch. Don't forget to follow us here on Twitch, because we do talk to our people like Fuzzlebear here during the show. Like I said, this show is about you. And some of the ways that we build this up is by answering your questions. So you can go to lanesidereviews.com. That'll take you to our Facebook. And from there, you can give us a message. You can email us at lanesidereviews@live.com. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. Just look up TEAMLSR or Laneside Reviews, and you can send in questions to us or little tidbits of stories and such, and we'll try to share them here on the air. Other things we missed this week. Well, let's see. It's new equipment, doing pretty good. We shot the videos for the 4 latest releases, the Pink Widow, the 3D Offset, the GB4, and the Collision from DV8. We shot those and had them edited. Well, unfortunately, we couldn't get them up because of issues last week. Little feedback on those pieces. First off, the deviate collision. Ball hooks. A lot. And it's down lane. It is a very... We talk about hybrids that have some polish on it where we can go either way. We can add some surface to get them to hook a little bit more, or we can shine them up to get a little bit of length and more angularity. That's what this ball is for. This is your classic hybrid, very strong down lane. As they advertise, probably the strongest reacting deviate ball down lane. You'll see that in the video. That one will be coming out tomorrow. The 3D offset. Oh, that ball is so good. That ball is silly good. And it is a motion that no company has right now. That core that Mo designed so long ago, 25 years. I think it was February 22nd. February 22nd? Yeah, the patent, I think that's what it was. So quite a few years ago when he designed that core. And it's still outperforming a lot of stuff out there. I know personally through my shop, we've had 4 go out the door since they were released. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a shop that might... You know, traditionally, we sell through a fair amount of balls, but we'll see, like, you know, 1 go this day, 1 go that day, 1 go that way, maybe 2 or 3 on the weekend. We had 4 go out in a day. The ball is that hot. I took it down to a tournament in Burlington, Ontario. It was a really, really good shape, like the shape I saw there. Came back, we shot the video with it. You guys have seen the footage of it. It's a ball that doesn't seem to stop hooking, no matter how deep you get. As long as you can get around it and create some rotation, the ball just seems to keep hooking. It doesn't quit. The GB4 was surprising. In mine, we dunked the fingers in it to try to get a little bit more length out of it, as we showed on the drill room. And I think you'll all be very surprised when you see the video. That ball has some performance. And then, of course, the Pink Widow. Pink Widow we released today. That ball. It is strong. Very, very strong. For those of you who have watched the video, you will have seen that it matches up identically to the purple urethane. So even though it has the change in cover stock from the U72 to the U70, or sorry, the old, which was a 72 durometer, not specifically U72, but it was a durometer of 72, to the new style of urethane for it, which is a durometer of 73, you don't see the difference at all. When you watch the video, the ball is literally on top of itself. We compared them, the purple Widow on the Pink Widow, and they were on top of each other. Exactly. So if you didn't spend $500 buying one of the limited edition ones, you don't have to kick yourself, because you can still get the exact same performance. And now it's in pretty, pretty pink. I like the pink. Dodge Viper, another ball on my radar. Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Dodge Viper there, that is our friend Vincent. Vincent loves himself a Paragon, and he's got one of them coming for him, so very excited to get that for him. So moving on from there, let's get into the topic of the week. The topic that everyone is talking about on social media. We even made the banner for it. The banning of urethane. Dun, dun, dun. That's going to make a terrible, terrible GIF. I might do that myself, actually. So, let's get right to it. I'm going to switch over here to... Boom! Actually, before we go to that... Oh, where did you go? Where did you go? There you are. Okay, so... A little while ago, let's say, 48 hours, the USB-C made a statement on the purple hammer hardness. Obviously, for those of you who may not have heard this going on in the past, the old ebonite hammer, Hopkinsville purple urethane hammers. So this would have been pre-2019. They have a bit of an issue with hardness. Now, while they were not produced illegal, they met all USB-C ratings. Over time, they have softened. Now, every ball, no matter what kind of cover stock, gets softer over time. The plasticizers start to evaporate. They heat and cool. All the chemicals start coming out. It becomes more brittle. It's just, they get softer, okay? Unfortunately, with the purple hammers, they do seem to get, and not necessarily, okay, we're picking on the purple hammer a little bit here. It first came out that the purple hammers seemed to get softer a little bit faster than other urethane. So the USB-C started looking at urethane in general and started studying it. And as time went on, the USB-C released the study that said it's not just the purple hammer. Urethane, specifically certain formulations of cover stocks, which they have generalized as urethane, they become softer at a faster rate than resin balls. Okay. But nothing was really done about it. Then, 48 hours ago, USB-C releases a statement on the purple hammer hardness talking about how, because we've seen so much going on about the hardness, the 3 balls that failed at the tournament. You can see just right on here, it's USB-C is aware of the claims that some purple hammers produced years ago were manufactured with hardness below approved specifications and intentionally distributed. So what they're saying is, ooh, that was neat. My phone crashed. That was neat. Sorry, give me 1 second, I'll get it back. Come back, phone! Come back! Oh, I guess I gotta unlock it. Alright, where did you go? Where are you? Okay. We got it back. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see here. So people were claiming specifically that the purple hammers that were produced by Ebonite were specifically and intentionally distributed below the hardness that was allowed. USB-C has found no evidence that this is true. So they investigated it, and they found absolutely no corroborating evidence to say that it was done intentionally. USB-C has never received a report alleging this conduct, nor any evidence supporting such a claim, nor would the USB-C approve a ball outside specifications. You think about what happened with the Motive Jackals. The balls that were sent to them were in specification, and when they found out that the margin of error for their specifications was too much and the balls were getting out that were above the rules, they did something about it right away. Here they've said that they've never received any allegations, never seen any evidence, and would not approve a ball. Since hardness continues to be a topic of misinformation, we want to repeat our research findings. Urethane balls get softer over time compared to when approved. Said that. Go down here. It's important here. The data clearly shows urethane balls from multiple companies and manufacturing facilities are getting softer. So that not only means North America, but overseas. In Mexico, in US, in wherever they're being made. All urethane balls, all balls with a certain chemical composition that puts them into the urethane category. All of them get softer. This is not unique to purple hammers. And there's, of course, a link there to the data from there detailing all the science if you want to take a look at it. So then today comes. And early this morning, things started trickling in. Even late last night, things started trickling in. The PBA was looking at banning urethane. That was the big news. Ban urethane. It's all going away. It's all terrible. It's all bad, bad, bad. Well, I don't see that happening, okay? And as new information has come out, it's become much more easy to understand what they're doing. This is something actually I've talked about before, and I mean, we talked about Simon about this before. When they got rid of balance holes, they said, you know, you can no longer use plugged balls on tour. That was their first way to get rid of some of these pieces. So guys like Anthony Simonson went out and found brand new old urethane because they wanted to still be able to get that reaction. Now the tour has basically said that you got 2 years on a ball before it becomes potentially out of spec. So a lot of people are, first of all, who does this affect? Who does all this affect? Well, if you're watching this show, it's probably not you. Let's be honest. I'm just kidding. For the most part, 99.999% of people, this will never affect. Currently. This is a PBA National Tour rule only, which means if you're bowling on a show that's going to be a national title on TV, Flow Bowling, something like that, that is when they are going to be looking at the serial number of the bowling ball when it was produced, so that they can make sure that it was produced within the last 2 calendar years. So basically, it doesn't affect anybody. Everybody has been getting angry. They've been, oh my goodness, my ball I just bought, I can't use it. Oh, you know, oh, it's going to get banned, all this, that, and stuff. And in honesty, it is a good thing, you know, if you've spent your hard-earned money on something, you want to make sure you get to use it. But in this case, it's just the national tour. We're not even talking about the PBA 50 or the regional tour or the junior tour or anything like that. Just the national tour. So for the most part, I think that's something like 10,000 bowlers potentially in the entire world. So it's a very, very small number of bowlers. Does that mean USBC may follow suit? That is left to be seen. You know, it's a very interesting thing if you think about it. As recreational bowlers, as house bowlers, the Purple Hammer, older urethane makes absolutely zero difference. On a house condition, while people moan and complain about you shouldn't play urethane on a house condition, it happens because people who watch the tour are going to play that equipment. But really, on a house shot, urethane's not going to make a lot of difference. Playing older urethane is not going to make a lot of difference. It's not like it's not a scoring bonanza out there already. It's not like there isn't free hook to the right, hold to the left. We're not seeing infinite 300s every day. So it doesn't impact it that way. But if you look at the Pro Tour, when it's such a small amount, when you're looking at 100 people competing, and if only, and this is kind of funny, if only, say, 30 of those 160 players have access to the Purple Hammer, that could be a bit of an advantage. Now, I say 30 out of 160 players because for those of you who have been to the tour before, you know that the ratio of Brunswick family professionals to say like Storm is about an 8 or 9 to 1. Like for every one Brunswick family group of people, there's 8 or 9 Storm people. So whether that's good or bad, not my place to say, but it gives a very small amount of people access to that ball. But really, it's not just that ball. It's all urethane. So, USBC says ball's good. Purple Hammer, Pink Widow, Purple Widow, Old Blue Hammer, whatever you want to throw. It's all good. You're safe. You're fine. You don't have to freak out. You don't have to worry about it. Your equipment is good. If you're going to bowl for a national tour, well, you actually have a truck at your service as well. If it's a national tour stop, the national tour truck is going to be there, and you can get a new ball drilled on the spot. One of the nice things about the truck is it's refilled by the companies directly, so they'll be able to track the serial numbers and make sure that whatever serial number you buy off the truck is within the last 2 years, so you'll be able to use that ball for 2 years on tour. Now, I wouldn't mind, to be honest with you, I actually would love to see the national tour put a 2-year window on all equipment. Very radical, I know. This is a really radical statement. But if you think about it, the national tour is the top of the cream of the crop of the best of the best. If you want to limit the amount of difference between the athletes and make it more digestible for things like the Olympics to look at as a true sport, by limiting the amount of equipment that they have access to, you're making it much more based on the player's ability, not who could find X ball. And once again, it's something that, as long as a ball is in production, it'll still be within the 2 years. You look at the High Road, Storm's High Road has been in production for like a bajillion years. So you get to the national tour and yours is 5 years old. They say, okay, no problem. Walk over and grab a new one off and drill it exactly the same way, and Bob's your uncle. So I don't think it would affect the pros as much. From a marketing standpoint, it's much better for the national tour players to be playing the newest equipment anyway. The national tour really is a giant advertisement. What wins on Sunday sells on Monday. It was an old saying that they used to use in the old days. If on Sunday on ABC Sports somebody won with a new ball, on Monday everybody bought that ball because they wanted to be that bowler. So that's really, the national tour is a lot of that. It's a lot of selling the new thing. There are incentives. It's a little behind the scenes. My fingers are going nuts today. I'm just quoting everything. When you're in the players' paddock at a national tour stop, like at the World Series of Bowling, when you go in the back, each company posts their incentives for the event. So if you make match play, or if you make TV, if you throw this ball on TV, you get X amount of dollars if you win. If you wear our shoes and you win on TV, you get X amount of dollars. If you wear our patch, our hat, our beard comb, I don't know. Depending on what companies are sponsoring, there are incentives on there. So, like, it was funny, Scoops and I went to an event in 2013 in Detroit for, I think it was the league, and there were some other tournaments going on there. And we were talking to some of the pros there, and they were all throwing like 10-year-old, super old equipment because the lanes, there was a really high friction and they needed stuff just to get down lanes, so they were throwing all the oldest of the old stuff. They went into the theater, which is the little center off to the side at Thunder Bowl, and then everyone went out and drilled up their new stuff to throw on TV because it played much differently than the rest of the house. So, and the incentives were there, so they could make their money off of that. So it's just an interesting little thing. On the questions, holy cow here. Love the content from Laneside Reviews. Wish I got to watch more live. I'm getting ready for League right now. That's okay. Just catch us on replay. Catch us when you can. We're going to try to get back to Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you can't catch our Thursday show, you can catch us on Tuesdays. Or whatever. But thank you for joining us. Ban urethane. Oh. Bowling balls are tools. Use what works. Exactly. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. And nobody wants you to know this. There is no magic bowling ball. There is no bowling ball that will make you a better bowler. I know. It's controversial. It's heartbreaking to some people. There is no ball that will make you a world-class bowler. However, the right ball in your hands can make what you're doing a lot better and can make you look like a better bowler. For instance, if you're on a shot that requires a higher RG ball, something that's not going to spin up in the heads, and you throw something that spins up real fast, you're going to look pretty awful. If you throw the right ball, you can look like a genius because you strike. But it's still just a tool. You need to know what you're doing with it, and you need to execute. And it's not about being consistent, because you can be consistently bad or consistently good. It's about repeatability. Learning the steps to be able to repeat what you do uniquely over and over again. If you can learn to repeat what you do uniquely, you can do anything. Look at Brandon Novak. Look at that weird chicken wing style. Look at the king, Ron Williams. For those of you who are not young enough to remember him, during the later years of the ABC, they had, ABC telecast, they had something called the King of the Hill, where a bowler who won the tournament would bowl against a returning king and try to take the throne, and they get to win money every week, week after week. And Ron Williams had this weird overhand chicken wing style, and he won a bunch of them. He made a ton of money because he could repeat. It's all about repeatability. Quoting Louise Naples. Yes. Wood, are you trying to start a fight? Yes, I am always trying to start a fight. Always. And that would definitely focus on new releases. Absolutely. So, now that we've talked about the ban of urethane, it's not really a ban. Okay? Calm down. Have a flaky. Grab your Snuggie. Have some chamomile tea. You'll be okay. We'll get through this together. I promise. We'll get through this together. Oh my God, there's urethane behind you! No. So what else is going on right now? Well, let's see here. This week starts, in fact, today started the World Series of Bowling. Yes, it's that time again. It's World Series of Bowling 13. This is the PBA website right here. So, starting tomorrow is the main event. But today, we had the PTQ. And look at this, folks. Look at this. Number 1. Canada is the best. Canada number 1. No. Nathan and Zach, 2 national team members, finishing first in the Roth Holman's doubles PTQ. Obviously, the top 8 here are qualifying to participate in the big event. But it's really good to see some local Canadian talent leading the event. Interesting to see the scores here, though. Look at this. 202 to 211. So it looks like they are playing hard. Be very, very interesting to see how the entire event goes this week. Boop, back to here. There is so much. Look at this. On the 6th, we've got the doubles. We've got the World Championships on the 13th. Cheetah Championships on the 14th. Scorpions on the 15th. Shark on the 16th. The Collegiate Challenge on the 20th. And then flow bowling, of course, we'll have the Lubbock Cup and the Storm Cup. They'll be going simultaneously in 2 different... Is that 2 different areas? No, 2 different days, sorry. The Lubbock Cup and the Collegiate will be going kind of against each other, one on FS1 and one on flow bowling. Then we've got the Masters coming up, and then the PBA playoffs. We have 2 straight months of insane amounts of bowling. It's going to be so much fun. So we're going to talk about it lots. For those of you who don't have flow bowling, we're going to talk about whatever we see on here, whatever you want to. One of these events, I would love to do a watch along with you guys. Get on here and just have the stuff in the background, and we can, watch one of the programs on FS1 and talk about it during the event. But we'll get to that later. So that is coming up. The first event is March 6th. That is Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. It won't be that one. I've got meetings this weekend. National team business. Got to get our year started. Such good stuff. Such the good. Don't ban urethane. I just put a pink widow on my radar. You see, that's what I'm talking about, Vincent. People, they see this, the ban, and they get so worried because they're like, oh my God, the PBA is going to ban it. I'm going to not be able to throw it. But it doesn't affect you. The USBC has nothing to do with the PBA. They are 2 separate entities. So, urethane, not banned. Literally, you can pick up a mineralite ball. Yeah, I think mineralite is the earliest you can go, as long as it's still a legal size, and you can throw that in league if you want to. I would have said the wooden ones, but I think there's a rule against that, actually. I do believe there's a rule against that. World Series of Bowling is always my favorite event. Get to see so many different bowlers on TV. I love it too. So many countries represented. Excuse me. I went to it myself. I had a lot of fun seeing so many different countries there, so many different styles. I recommend, if you ever get a chance, if you have if you're a PBA pro and you haven't gone to the World Series, I highly recommend it. It is a different atmosphere from any other event, even PBA regionals. It's such a different feeling from any event I've ever been to. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So what else? Oh, this should be good. Okay, I wanted to start something on the show here. I love getting stories and conveying stories from viewers and from myself. I love carrying on the tradition of storytelling. And one thing I do enjoy is pro shop horror stories. So for you fans out there, if you have any wonderful pro shop horror stories, I would love to hear them. If you send them to us, either through Facebook or through laneside-reviews@live.com, I would love to share some of these on here because I think they are just great. And this comes up because I was working on some equipment today. Pro shop guys out there, I know you feel me on this. You ever get that equipment in that's been worked on by that one pro shop guy that you just hate, just with a passion, and all of their work when you come to clean it up is just, it's just. I had a ball come in today. The customer wanted it worked on. They wanted a switch grip removed, and the ball completely filled, and they wanted it re-drilled because they weren't happy with the reaction they got. They said it didn't fit real great. They didn't really like the reaction, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. Something I do all the time. So I get the ball on the bench, and I'm looking at the switch grip, and I'm like, that's really weird. The bottom color of the thumb hole is really, it's weird. It's like dark. So I don't really think about a lot about it, but I'm just like, oh, weird. So I'm working around it very carefully. What I'll do is I'll split the switch grip all the way down to the bottom, and then I'll cut through one of the rings on the bottom that holds the switch grip thumb in place. And that way, if you do it right, if you split it really nicely, and the person hasn't been some kind of monster, you should just be able to give it a little bit of a pop with a hammer and pull with a knife just a little bit from the top, or screwdriver for safety, and it should just pop. And you should be able to pull it out relatively in one piece without problems. So I start cutting the bottom of this thing, and it's like gooey at the bottom. And I'm like, what? Why is it gooey at the bottom? And I'm cutting it, and I get through to the switch grip, and I start trying to pry it away from the wall of the hole, and this thing is stuck. And I'm like, what's going on? And I'm trying to pry it, and I'm moving around the ball, and I'm trying to pry it, and the switch grip is literally falling apart before it's coming out. I can't get this thing to come out, and I finally start to get it to pull out, and it's sticky, and I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, what? So I get it out, and I look at the switch grip, and the switch grip is lined around it. Someone has wrapped it in some kind of, I'm going to say cloth tape. And I'll say cloth tape because we'll get back to it in a second. I get back and I look at the inside of the hole, and the inside of the hole it's got a weird color to it. Like when you glue something, usually it's got a white residue. This is a weird color. And the bottom of the hole is black. So I start banging on the bottom of the hole to figure out what the heck this thing is. And it chips, and the whole thing comes out. The whole piece comes out. And it's a piece of urethane that's been poured in the bottom of it. And I'm like, what? What? And I look in the bottom, and there is this mound of gross, leftover whatever in the bottom. And I start chipping away at it, and it comes out as a piece, and I'm assuming it's some kind of epoxy resin, or maybe it was gray, so I don't really want to say that it's 2-part plumber's epoxy, but I think it was like plumber's, the 2-part where you do the hole and it smells really bad, and then you use the ugly like blue stuff on the thing and you put it together, and then bzz. I'm being technical here. Yeah, so somebody used pipe sealer to put so they had they had somehow drilled the hole too big, wrapped the entire switch grip in a fabric tape, and then covered it in this epoxy pipe stuff, and then put it in the hole. So after 45 minutes, I got this thing out. Got it the hole cleaned nicely. It took forever to chip out all of this nasty epoxy, get the bits of thread and tape out of the hole. I mix my my plug up because I'm going to do it as a 2-part hole. You don't want to do anything more than 1 inch wide in one step. Otherwise, it heats up too much. You can crack the ball. It can foam. It can do a lot of bad stuff. So I'm getting the hole ready, and then I ream it out really good, and I pour the stuff in, and I walk away. And I'm working, and I hear like almost like air coming up through mud. And I turn around and I look, and the plug is bubbling. Because whatever they've used to put in this thumb hole has seeped into the ball itself and is now reacting with the plug. So it's literally spitting plug out and like a little volcano. So that's my Pro Shop horror story for today. If you've got one, send it to lanesidereviews@live.com. Make the heading Pro Shop horror story. And if I share it, I'll give you a shout out on here. Right, Nick? Like, Scoops has been with me for a few of these Pro Shop horror stories. We've dealt with a few shops who've had some interesting business practices over the years. So we're gonna have some fun. Now, as promised, we get ladders. We get ladders. We get tons and tons of mail. And not just male pattern baldness. So let's check in with social media, see what questions have come over the last little bit while I've been away. And once again, I am sorry that I was away. I want to really take the time to thank everyone for the messages that were sent, the prayers and stuff. I felt your positive vibes. It actually does help a lot, so I appreciate it. Getting back to a bit of a normal is something that it's nice. So, here's a good one. This is from John. I already helped John out, but I'll just let you know what we had been talking about. John, his wife, had a couple of different balls, a Redemption Hybrid, and she was looking at, one of them's a Redemption Hybrid, and he was looking at a pink Widow Urethane for her. So he was asking for some help of layouts and such for what he needed. Now, I made 2 suggestions for her based on the information that he gave me. One being a short pin layout. I don't know if you guys saw Mikey. Welcome back, Mikey. Mikey's short pin video on the Pink Widow, but I recommended the short pin if she was matched or low tilt bowler, or if she was a higher tilt. I went with a slightly different one with a bit of a longer pin distance, going with a 5-inch pin instead of a 2-inch pin. John got back to me and let me know. Actually, see if I can show you the picture. Couldn't load image. Knock that crap off. All right, there we go. Let me see here. Oh, my phone is so dirty. Every time I touch it. All right, let's see there. Oh, maybe that's a scratch. I don't know. He said ugly pin position. I think it's pretty awesome. But 148 average, she bowled a 206 with it. So way to go, John's wife. That's awesome. Good bowling. I actually really like the idea of the Pink Widow with a short pin. I drilled mine. You saw it on the video there, and it's very strong. I don't know if I'll get to really play it that much in League. I kind of want to order another one and drill it short pin to use as my benchmark ball instead of my. I've got a pin down, slow response, Obsession Tour Solid right now as my benchmark. 50 by 4.5 by 75. But a short pin urethane might be a really nice piece right in that spot. Scoops, me too! Somebody asked where our shop is located. Our shop is located in Barrie, Ontario, inside the Bayfield Mall, just by Bolorama Bayfield, or Bayfield Bolorama, or whatever the name is. We're about 45 minutes north of Toronto, just off the highway, off the 400 highway. We're open all the time if you want to come up and get some stuff done, get some equipment drilled, get some lessons. Just call ahead. Message us. Laneside Reviews at live.com. Let us know. Let's see here. That didn't send out. Let me see. Somebody trying to sell me more help on my YouTube again. I think we're doing pretty good on YouTube. We could do better, but hey. Let's see here. Comments. Somebody posted, we had said in one of the videos how we wanted to see a Red Widow. And someone posted they made 2 Red Widows. The Black Widow Red Legend Solid and the Red Legend Pearl. We were talking about a Black Widow red urethane. Like a blood red urethane. Like, oh, you died from the widow's bite. Yeah. I'd love to see the blue pearl. We actually, Mr. Urethane Nick has just about every urethane ball ever made now. And I think one of the ones I did for him was a blue pearl. I can't remember. I know there was another gentleman when I used to bowl very long ago. Mr. Wilhelminus himself, Will Cashaback, he had a blue pearl hammer. I wish I could get another one of those. Those are so hard to find. Yeah, those are the old Fab ones. I'd love to see that. A Black Widow Platinum Blue Sparkle. I totally am in for that as well. I'm in for all that kind of stuff. Yes, it is great to see more content from Mikey. Honestly, I was really worried about Mikey after the passing of Mo. It hit a lot of us hard, but Mikey and Mo had a very special relationship, and I was really worried about him. And to see him coming back and seeing him dedicate what he's doing to continue Mo's legacy really, gets you in the feels. I'm really, really happy that he's back. I don't know, full-colored balls aren't my forte. I was in 5-pin for many years. The house balls were color mixed. For those of you who don't know what 5-pin is, imagine duck pin, but you only get 5 pins. You get 1 in the front, the 2 in the side, the 2, 3, and then you just get the 2 out here. Extremely hard game, pretty much only played in Canada and upper the U.S., like Vermont kind of area. And their balls are like duck pin balls, and they're like super multicolored swirly. Red and black, I've always thought it was a really good mixed color. I think they go together very well. So I'm with you there, Vincent. Let's see here. Scotty Thompson, cool video. Talk bowling, Hammer bowling, Pink Widow. Always love getting your messages. Looks very close to the purple. Make that $500 look like bank robbery. Somebody, Every time you see somebody who bought one, except for Scoops, give them a hug, because they're going to need it. Scoops got his because he didn't really have to pay for it because he had those gems that he sold for it. And it's super rare, super duper duper rare, and he deserves to have something that's his and is very rare. So he deserves it. Other people, ooh. Now we just need Mikey to start teaching the Mo two-handed system. Yes. Mikey put out some new videos, and I am furiously working on learning the system so that we can go over it on here. I'm still finding it in comparison to the 2LS system, there are a lot more steps to be done, and I think that's why it's caught on in places where there aren't as many direct training interactions. So internationally, the 2LS might have picked up faster than I think Mikey was talking about calling it the PAL system, the pin above layout system. It might have picked up quicker just because the 2LS had less steps, so it was faster to get into. But knowing mode, there's probably the mathematics going into the PAL system is probably. Let's just call it the PAL system. All right, Mikey, just do it. Whatever. He already called it that once. It's in. Yeah. What am I doing with my hands tonight? I think it was just a matter of it was a few more steps. You needed a little bit more interactive teaching with it to jump into it. But that's just me. It's my opinion. Back to more stuff from the YouTubes. Nice video as usual, guys. This is about the 3D offset. This one looks great. Also saw the new Conspiracy is going to be released. Looking forward to the review. I'm really looking forward to that one as well. That new cover stock, Dynamic Core. It should be interesting. I've noticed it has a little bit of a shine to it too, compared to the original Conspiracy that was a very flat, very dull finish. This seems to have a very shiny finish. So it should be interesting to see how strong this cover is comparatively. Brunswick Twist Red and Purple. That's an odd but effective color combo. I agree. Very much. Scoops, I think there's more adjustability with the PAL. Yeah, I think there is. I think there's a little bit more fine-tuning that can be done with the PAL system as opposed to the 2LS. 2LS relies a lot more on finger depth, where I think the 2LS fine-tunes the geometry of the core. But it still makes my head hurt. Let's see, from Drill Room Episode 10. I have a Radical Results ball. I'm thinking about getting the remake of the 3D hammer. Are they similar? How different are they? Way different. The Radical Results is a medium differential ball, so it's going to have a little bit less flare, but more... Sorry, less differential, but more intermediate differential. So it flares a little bit less, but has a much more pronounced move, and will roll forward a little bit sooner. The 3D offset is going to be, actually the way that when Nick and I were talking about it, when Scoops and I were talking about it, it has the short hook window of an asymmetric ball, very short hook window, but it's incredibly continuous. The ball never seems to roll forward. So, I kept moving farther and farther. I got to 50 and could still strike from there. As long as I got it out far enough, I could get it to come back and strike. So this is a much different, the 3D offset is a much different motion than the results. If you want a ball that is going to be more hockey stickish, go with the results. If you want something that's going to hit the hook window and keep hooking, go with the 3D offset. Let's see what else. Medusa. I've had a few league nights that I could swear there was an invisible sticker on my ball. Absolutely. That's from Butch. That's from the Medusa video when we forgot to take the sticker off the ball and it wasn't hooking, and then and it was like in the middle of the, like right at the rooster tail point, and when we took it off, the ball suddenly hooked like a bat out of hell. Thunder! Thundercats! Ho! No, yeah. Please do Wolverine. Yeah, if, you know what, guys, go to our Spreadshirt. We've got the new link up for our Spreadshirt, or go to Patreon. If you guys want us to do balls like the Wolverine, the more you guys support us, the more equipment we can do. Or if you have one and you want to send it to us, we'll totally review it. Thank you, Corbin, for the positive thoughts for the no streaming. Jerome 2, when are you guys going to be doing ball testing? We've already done it. Most of the videos posted on the Pink Widow are by two-handers and are completely useless. Yes. It was one of the things, you know, from the very first time we did videos, it was very important to us to have different styles, because no two bowlers really bowl the same way. And we tried to get bowlers who had enough of a divide between their styles that they could represent somewhat of an average of bowlers that are out there. I mean, old guy Wayne is our speed dominant bowler. His style isn't exactly like every speed dominant bowler's style, but his shot shape is fairly average and reminiscent of a speed dominant bowler's shape. Nick is a matched bowler. It's perfect for us. He can just throw the ball. I am a rev dominant low tilt bowler, so I'm like the super duper corner Casey of bowlers, which is why I had to learn how to put a little bit of tilt on the ball so I could shape it better to be able to better show in the videos what the balls were doing. So I understand. We're actually, I am hoping at some point we can add a two-hander to our show here. It's just finding the logistics of getting another ball and another bowler so that we can get all the information in. We'd like to add a female. We'd love to add a woman bowler because I think that is a viewpoint that gets missed a lot online, and I'd love to add a two-hander. Man, maybe I could get a two-handed left-handed woman bowler. Man, would that ever tick off all the brochachos out there. Sean Rash might lose his mind. Let's see here. Somebody asked how the purple hammer, let's see, this is Gord. How does the purple hammer compare to the BTU Pearl? Night and day. The BTU, even though it was, it's considered urethane. Like if we go back to the urethane slide here, you can see all of, hi Brooke, thanks for coming. Or Brooke, Brooke? Yeah, there we go. I have nicely added a list here of all the currently acceptable, a female Wayne Blakely, yes. I have a list here of all the currently available urethane balls that are legal on the PBA Tour. So if you are on the PBA Tour and do need one, here you go. They're all in one nice, easy place. What I think a lot of you might find interesting is how many urethane balls are truly still legal. If you notice, they were very specific that all of the international releases were also covered under this to make sure that nobody went and said, okay, oh, you know what, oh, we can't use this ball, this is a North American release, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go over and pick up, say, like the IQ Tour Red urethane from Japan, and I'm going to throw that instead and get around the rules. Not happening. So you can have one of the balls on this list, and the serial number, if you were on tour, would be tracked to make sure it was within the last 2 years, produced within the last 2 years. However, once again, it doesn't affect the regular bowler. Not a bit. You could go grab rubber if you wanted to. And I've kind of contemplated what would happen if someone were to grab rubber and hit it at like 35 grit and start bowling with that, if they'd freak out on tour. What about that old acrylic cover stock, the old Omegas with the acrylium, the like lycra plastic cover stocks that actually they boasted that they heated up when you threw them. They actually created their own friction. Like, there's so many. Just make it a 2 year. 2 years on any ball. 2 years, that's it. Otherwise, people like me are going to find ways around these rules. Like the Black Beauty. Perfect example, Scoops. We'll just get a Black Beauty and we'll hit it at 35 grit, and we'll let them play with that. Brooke, for someone who is speed dominant, would a Nova Phase 4 and Spectre be a good 3-ball bag? On the surface, looking at that, I'm going to take a quick look here. Let's see here. Let's go Storm Bowling. I'm going to look at the Storm Bowling balls. Now, one thing I've noticed right off the bat, I see the Phase 4, which is a pearl ball, and I think the Spectre is a pearl as well. Let's see here. The Spectre, pearl reactive cover stock, 253049, 254050. So that would be good for when they get drier. The Nova, that's a hybrid reactive, 249052 but it's a hybrid. And then the Phase 4, which is a pearl 248051. So Brooke, what I might suggest here, if you're looking for a 3-ball arsenal, what I might actually suggest, I like the idea of that Nova. I think the Nova is, from talking to my national players, from talking to the pros, both the Nova and the UFO Alert from Rotogrip are both very, very good hybrids. They've had a lot of playability. They've been very, very reliable pieces. So that one's an A+. The Spectre, if you have dry lanes, if you're going to be bowling on wood, as a speed dominant player, I think that's a great choice. For later in blocks, especially if you're a tournament bowler, that's what I'm wanting to get from my bag. Not sure was a good one. If you've got some issues where they get really dry, the Spectre I think will be good later. The one that I might change is the Phase 4, because you're looking at 3 pearl balls there, or pearl-ish balls, and as a speed dominant player, we always say that the more surface that you can add, the more we can slow the ball down, the easier it will be for you to score. The Nova, being a hybrid, we can add some surface to, and we can get it to slow down pretty good, but still keep some of that distance and some of that angularity. The Spectre, you can keep shiny for when you've got some friction, and that'll give you something to go to later. I would switch up that Phase 4 for a Phase 2. At minimum. Biggest difference being the cover stock on it. We're going to a solid cover stock. It's going to be a little smoother. It's going to grab a little bit earlier for you. Want them to bowl league? Yes, I picked them on the ones look the nicest. They are the nicest looking. I'm not gonna disagree with you. See, the Phase 2 would be really good as you're kind of in between there, as a really good controllable ball. But I might also, give me 1 second here. One of the things I can say about Storm's new website, being able to list all of their equipment on one page, is very nice across all of their brands. Makes it a lot easier to find stuff when customers or people are asking me things. Let's see here. for that middle ball, I'm thinking that balling up might be the better having something a little bit stronger, like Zen, but that's symmetric. Want something asymmetric. What about the reality? I think the reality. Yes, the reality. I might, if you want a benchmark reaction, you're still learning to hook the ball. You bowl very straight. Okay. So if you're, so the, where to go here? The Nova will give you a ball that will be cleaner and go down and just kind of hook more at the end. The Spectre will give you something, if that ball is hooking too much, will be a little bit less, a little bit more controllable. What you're missing is something solid that you can control. So a Phase 2 will be a little bit more controllable. It'll have a little less hook than your Nova, but more hook than your Spectre, and it'll be very smooth. If you want something with a little more hook, I would go to the 900 Global Reality. Also very pretty ball. That's going to be asymmetric, so it's going to have a little bit of a shorter hook window for you. As a speed dominant player, that's going to have a little better look. It's going to be a little bit easier for you to hook the ball. It's going to give you your most amount of angle of entry, and it's going to be the one that's going to have the most surface on it for you. Yes, another straight bowler in the chat. What else do we got here? Somebody's saying that we should cut Wayne. But we were talking about, sorry, before I got into that, we were talking about the urethane. Sorry. We were talking about the urethane, how the new Purple Hammer compares to the BTU Pearl. If you notice on the Brunswick side here, they've actually put the BTUs in as urethane, even though they're not really urethane. They are a base, they are a resin base without the additives. So it's very interesting that they've put some of these in there. I think the UC3 is in here. Did they put the UC3 in? They did not. You see that? I don't see a UC3 in here. There it is, the Rubicon UC3. Okay, there we go. But yeah, like even the balls that aren't really urethane were still on there. As for the BTU Pearl versus the Hammer, very different. I think you're going to see 3 or 4 more total boards of hook from the BTU Pearl because it's a resin base. Remember, the Hammer is about using up that energy in the front of the lane, so it doesn't hook a lot down lane. So, Brooke, I just can't quite get it to hook really, and I try to put a spin on it. I tend to go into the gutter. No, it's okay. It's totally okay, Brooke. This show is about you, the viewer. I wouldn't have a show without you, so I'm okay to talk about whatever. Something that might help is working. If you're newer to the game, find yourself a good quality coach, a certified coach. And don't be afraid to interview them. Sounds silly, but when you're spending your money on trying to get better as a bowler, and you're spending your time, and you're putting basically your personal health on the line by working with somebody with a heavy object, you want to make sure that that coach fits your game and your style. Different coaches have different specialties. Some might be really good with equipment, some might be good with swing direction, some might be good with timing, but find the coach that fits with your personal style. Interview them, find out who they've worked with, what they've done, what training they have. You know, a coach is great. You could have 2 certified coaches, but if one of them is actively coaching and one of them is just a coach, one is going to be better than the other. So don't be afraid to interview your coach and find somebody who can work with what you want to know and what your skill level is. Another really important thing is when you're working with a coach, they should be asking you if you have any physical limitations or anything that might affect your bowling style. You want them to be very in tune with what you can do. You don't want them asking you to do something that you can't physically do. And this one is very hard for a lot of coaches to do, and it's very hard for a lot of students to do, is when you're working with a coach, take it slow. Realistically, you should work on one thing per lesson. And it sounds like, well, he's just trying to say that to get more lessons. But no, your body needs time and your brain needs time to get used to what you're doing. You have to be able to digest the motions that you've gone through and the reasons why, so that you can repeat them properly. Just mimicking something, you're never going to do it right. But if you understand it and understand why, you'll be able to do it perfectly. The new gem would be nice, and it's very pretty. The gem has got a very, very strong cover on it. That core we've seen before. I think it was in the... it was in another roto ball. It started with D. It came out in 2013, and I can't remember it now. We even reviewed it. What happened to her message? I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. But I saw it. I don't know what happened there. Sometime Twitch's mod is really weird. I've noticed. I'm going to have to go in and mess with the mod on here a little bit. And the chat bites another one. Yeah, I know you got it last time, Vincent. So, but yeah, interview your coach. Get yourself a good coach and work with them. Take your time. One thing at a time. We're going to be doing some work on here. I think starting next week, we're going to start doing some body position and some coaching on the floor here in the show. Working on some stuff. I had a chance to rewatch some videos from Kegel, and just some really interesting things popped out to me that I wanted to go over. I think everyone will benefit from. Total Defiance, yes! Hot damn scoops, good boy. Thank you for the advice. I'm happy I could finally catch you live. I'm not normally working. I'm glad we could catch you too. Thank you for messaging in. I really appreciate it. So there's not much left on today's show, but huge announcement. I don't know if you viewers noticed, but we hit 50 followers. You know what that means, don't you? As promised, at the end of this week, everyone who has followed this show on Twitch is going to be entered into a contest. So by Sunday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, everyone who has followed this channel, all their names are going to be put into a great big wheel, and maybe we do those cool digital wheels that they do for all those contests. We'll spin it up, and somebody is going to win themselves an autographed Parker Bowen III poster. It's not a lithograph, it's actually hand-signed. We've got it in the tube. It's super cool. I'm excited to give it away to somebody. It's just like the one, we had him sign one for our store here. Someday I'll take you guys for a tour of the store. I think it'd be really cool. So we're going to give one of those away at the end of the week. And then don't forget, we're getting there on social media. We are getting there for follows and stuff. I'm going to go to my studio and check it out right now. Let's see how we're doing for our follow percentage. Analytics! Ooh. That's a lot of subscribers. Wow. Dems is some people. Reach. Dude, down to subscribers. Where are you at? Okay. Subscribers. Oh, we're up to 35%. We've gone up 5% in the last month. And that is thanks to you, the viewers. We could not do this without you. That means that we are just 5% off from starting the new contest. That one where we're going to be giving away jerseys and cool stuff, signed stuff from the show here. We got a whole bunch of awesome memorabilia. We're going to give some stuff away. We want to thank you, the fans, for helping us get through more than 26 years of reviews. When I started this, all of this was up here, and this looked like this. So just imagine my head upside down with a mouth in my forehead, and you'll be terrified. But you'll get the idea. Let's see here. Age and gender of viewers. A lot of guys out there. Holy moly. Wow, a lot of guys. Got to get some more girls on YouTube here. Need more girls. That's why I like working with my national team. The national women's athletes that I've gotten to work with over the past year, I have been truly blessed to work with some of the most talented bowlers I think I have ever seen in my life. Girls like Miranda Panis, gold medal winning Felicia, Cody McMaster, Brittany Rocan. Like, there's so many amazing. I don't want to leave somebody out. I don't want to leave anybody out because all of my athletes are so amazing. It's just, I'm just trying to think of everybody. It's just, I think there's the people that I get to work with. Felicia Wong, gold medal winner. Just an incredible left-hander. If you're looking for a female bowler to emulate style, especially as a left-hander, Felicia's game is so good. It's money. Miranda Panis, Brittany, I think this is her first year on the team. She's so much fun. Marie Eve, Jennifer Bassana. We've got so many great athletes. On the other team that went to Dubai, you've got Sam Howe, you've got Sarah Clausen. Just, we have been really blessed with some truly amazing female athletes. I would love to see them get a lot more mainstream press because they are just some incredible bowlers. I agree. We need more. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I followed when I first saw it. Yay, you followed. Yeah, no, I would love to see way more ladies out here. Ladies doing reviews, ladies doing shows. I think it's something that we need because the female athlete as a bowler is just as important as any male that's out there and deserves every amount of information, training, and marketing and advertising that we get. So I would love to see more. So yeah, those contests and stuff are coming up. I think that's about it. Are there any questions out there from you guys? I know I've answered a lot of stuff during the show today. You've all been so awesome. I love when we can interact like this. We can talk. We can go over things. Just to reiterate, Urethane, 2 years on the Pro Tour, unless you're bowling for a national title, it doesn't actually affect you. USBC hasn't done anything with it. CTF hasn't done anything with it. Internationally hasn't done anything with it. It's just the national PBA tour. Not even the regional, not PBA 50, not junior, just the national tour. So all your purple hammers are safe. Do you just Google for a coach, or how do you find them? Sorry, I missed that part. USBC, if you're American, you can go to the USBC website, and they do have, you can go in and search for different coaches through that way, and you can look based on level. If you're in Canada here, all Canadian coaches, all proper Canadian coaches are NCCP certified. We're all professional coaches. We've all had to go through a very stringent and strenuous training program. So you can find us through, I believe, coach.ca. You can look for coaches, or you can go to the CTF website and it lists all our national coaches. I got to be honest with you, if you're in the U.S., you have access to some of the greatest coaches that I've had the chance to work with. Guys like Ron Hatfield, Rick Wiltsey, Del Warren, just insanely talented people. Here in Canada, we have Frank Buffa. Back when when you could become a USBC certified coach outside of the U.S., Frank became one. I think he will be the only Canadian USBC certified gold coach at this point. But yeah, you're in Kansas, so you're in the U.S. Let's see if we can. You can also go online if you go to your local pro shop. If you go to your local bowling center, you can ask to see who is USBC certified. A USBC certified coach will actually have a little name tag. They have to be safe sport certified, so they've been had a criminal record check and everything to them to make sure that they're relatively safe. I say relatively safe because it doesn't check for personalities. Son of a gun, it won't. My internet's being silly with me. I'm going to do it on my phone. Let's see here. Bowl.com is... No, not Zom. Bowl.com. Bowl.com is the USBC homepage. And you can go to USBC in the menu, and it says coaching. That's where you can find the information about coaches. Coaching home. And then there should be... Well, there used to be a thing here. Find a local USBC coach. Okay. Information, contacts. Perfect. Yeah, so you can go to the website and you can go to their coaching section and you can find information there. Or you can email coaching@bowl.com. Coaching@bowl.com. And the USBC coaching contact can actually let you know who your local coaches are. So yeah, I hope that helps. If you are ever in the Columbus area, definitely check out Ron Hatfield. If you're looking for a coach, get more bowling. It can be hard, especially in today's economy and environment with all this craziness going on. It can be hard to find that time. One of the nice things is we talked about getting more female athletes into bowling. As youth ladies, they should be flocking to the sport. They are literally giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to universities for bowling programs. If you can throw the ball anywhere good, you can apply to some of these schools and get some of your schooling paid for free. More women's bowling. Yay, collegiate bowling. So I think that covered just about everything. Once again, I want to thank all of you for joining us. I know last week was tough. It was really tough last week. But you guys all of you have made it worthwhile coming back here and being able to stream and talk with you all. I love talking bowling. I could do this all day. Any more questions? Somebody asked, Somebody asked why they don't get why they discontinued the Helix. I don't know if everyone knows this. I'm just going to go away on a little aside here for a second. The Helix was a very unusually produced bowling ball. What they'd actually do is they'd pour the entire ball in black, like the exterior cover stock, the black side, and then they'd send those pieces out and have that strip milled specifically into a space on each ball and then have that spot filled with urethane. So when these were being produced where a regular ball, the cost to produce it... Whoa! Don't worry, I haven't run away. I just have to change batteries. Son of a gun. I'm back, sorry. That's why you're supposed to check your batteries before you stream. So yeah, they milled a strip out of it and then filled it. So where a regular ball might cost like $60 cost to produce, one of these balls cost $150 to $200 cost to produce. So they were very extremely time and resource intensive. So, and they didn't, to be honest with you, they didn't actually sell that well. In a time when you could buy a ball for $200, nobody wanted to buy a ball for $500. So, I will look into that as well. I want to go back to school. Yeah, absolutely. There is no age limit on bowling for scholarships, so. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Want to thank y'all for joining us. Please make sure you follow us. Like I said, Sunday at midnight, so 11:59 Sunday night. We'll close. Whoever's following at that point, you're in the contest for the Parker Bones sign poster. Please make sure you follow us, subscribe, like our videos, comment on them on YouTube. The more you comment on them, the more you like them, the higher up they get, the more traction we get, the more stuff we can do. The revenue we get from YouTube also goes towards buying equipment for us to review for you. So the more we get watched, the more we can do for you. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, lanesidereviews@live.com. You can email us at lanesidereviews@live.com, and you can follow us on Facebook at Laneside Reviews. You can tell I'm tired. Don't forget, we're going to be back here next week, Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Who knows what we'll talk about? Who knows what wild stuff will have happened this weekend at the World Series of Bowling? Don't forget, we've got the Holman Roth doubles this weekend. And that's about it. So, I will hopefully catch you again. A lot of this stuff to do tonight, so see you around. Thank you, guys. I really very much appreciate you all watching. I love doing this. And until next time, guys, we'll see you laneside. Now, where did I put that end screen? There it is. Bye!
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a show. So until next time, guys, we'll see you laneside.